heartbreaking assembly was the original act of mummification. Isis, aided by Thoth, the god of wisdom who provided the spells, began to bind the pieces. She used her own divine essence, linen, and resins to create the first mummy. Anubis, Mother, your determination defies death itself. What magic shall hold him? Isis, the magic of Ma'at's son, the magic of unending love and justice. I shall grant him life enough for the continuation of the bloodline. Isis, hovering over the mummy in the form of a kenner bird, used her wings to generate a vital breath and her most potent spells to rekindle the flame of life in her husband's body. Just for a moment, the mummy lived, and in that sacred magical union, Horus was conceived, the perfect, divine avenger. V. The battle for vengeance. Horus verse. Set Isis raised her son, Horus, in absolute secrecy among the papyrus reeds of the Delta. She instilled in him not only the nobility of his father, but also her own potent magic and the burning necessity for vengeance. Horus grew to be a majestic figure, the falcon-headed god whose eyes were the sun and the moon. When he reached full maturity, the Great War began. It was a chaotic, prolonged struggle, a mythological version of the battle between Ma'at and Isfet. Set and Horus met in numerous duels across the sands of Egypt. In one devastating battle, Set tore out Horus's left eye, the Wedjot, moon eye, symbolizing the temporary triumph of darkness. In return, Horus, with righteous fury, castrated Set, denying the god of chaos his ability to procreate and further spread his chaotic lineage. The conflict was so destructive that it required the intervention of the Ennead, the great council of the gods, led by the elder Ra. The tribunal sat for years listening to the claims. Set argued that Horus was illegitimate, born after Osiris's death. Horus argued that Set's fratricide rendered his rule invalid. Thoth, O great Ra, the murder was an act of Isfet. The succession must follow Ma'at. Horus, son of the Queen of Magic and the rightful king, is the true heir. Despite Ra's initial bias toward his aggressive son Set, the overwhelming evidence and the wisdom of Thoth prevailed. The tribunal ruled in favor of Horus. 6. Conclusion. The Immortal King. Horus ascended the throne of the living, returning the rule of justice and order to the two lands of Egypt. But what of Osiris? Osiris, having been the subject of the great magic, became the transition point between life and death. He could not return to the land of the living, but his purpose became eternal. He became the undisputed king of Duat, the underworld.